Welcome to New York City. There are so many amazing things to do here, but some of my favorite ones are actually the secret spots and the hidden gems. There's so many of them, and this is actually my second video on the topic. To see the first video, it is linked below, and in that one, I'll show you some cool things like a hidden tennis court in Grand Central. But today, we're gonna dive into some more secret spots, so let's start our journey right now. My first secret is straight out of my Secrets of New York tour, which I do every Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And during this tour, I'll take you through hidden passageways, tell you fascinating true stories of the area, and show you secret spots in the city that I've never revealed in my videos. But today I'm actually going to reveal one of the places on my tours, and that is this spot. This is 77 Water Street, and from the outside, it just looks like a more or less typical office building with some interesting artwork around it. But the really fascinating truth about it is on the roof, there is a World War II fighter plane parked on top of it. Though this plane does look authentic, it is actually an antique. It's a replica model of a 1916 British Sopwith Camel. Unfortunately, there's no way to view the plane itself from the public. You really have to break into one of these office buildings or something to do that, but still it's really cool and something that you would never expect when you're in New York City. Central Park is one of the most famous locations in the world. It's actually the most filmed location on Earth. Surprisingly, it's been in over 200 movies. And there's a lot of things that you probably already know about it, but one of the things that is surprising is that you can actually go fishing here, and it's completely free, which is wild. They supply you with this pole, they supply you with bait, and they give you a fishing lesson. Now, all the fish in here, you can't keep them, and honestly, I don't know if you'd really want to. I don't think they would be good for eating, but you just hook on the corn here, throw it in, and any fish you catch, you have to throw back in. Not a fisher. I did it one time in Cape Cod. All right, so this is our bait. Little pieces of corn, just go like that, I imagine, right? Get it on there like good. But you can actually learn some fly fishing in the park as well. They have lessons. You just need to sign up in advance. There's a bunch of fish right here. I'm gonna try to see if I can get them. They are interested in it. I'm moving closer to them and they're not grabbing it. The thing about fishing is that a lot of patience involved, which is something I don't have, to be honest with you. There's gonna be a lot of editing in this, and I'm gonna suddenly catch the fish, like this. Okay, I totally caught this fish. It was not Louie. Wow. Just kidding, it was Louie. Look at this thing.
Yeah, like that.
Ah.
No, that's
Okay. Oh my God, oh my God. Look at my treasure. Oh my God, so cute. I'm sorry that I hurt you. Okay. You have to put the fish back when you catch it. Don't forget to do that. Okay. Bye. Ooh. Oh my God, I can't believe we caught a fish. Yes. The trick to catching the fish is you have to put like 5 pieces of corn on it, like this. Don't just put one. You're never gonna catch it if you just put one. It's about taunting the fish and getting them to come over and trust you, and then you break their trust and you catch them. There are many amazing things about the New York Public Library that you may not know, and one of the most fascinating is that there's actually a human Google, and this is, you can call a number and a librarian inside will pick it up and answer any question you have. The number is 917-ASK-NYPL. They get 30,000 calls a year from everything from science to politics to art to history, and some of the most interesting questions they've gotten is the Bible copyrighted? Or why are there so many squirrels in 18th century paintings? So seriously, next time you have a question, dial that number up, ask it, and all of your questions will be answered instantly by someone in this building. Another great resource if you're looking for information on the go is something called TexRex. This is available in New York and a few other large cities in the US and is run by Infatuation, which is an amazing resource if you're looking for great restaurants or bars around the city. It's really made for foodies, but they have a program where you can text a number. The number is 64560 and ask any question. So let's try it right now. Best bubble tea in NYC. It's an actual person that runs this account. It's multiple people, I'm assuming, because they have many, many people texting this. But they will respond to you with suggestions all over the city. And it's a great resource if you're looking for like a date idea or lunch with friends or whatever, because they'll literally get back to you within a few minutes. So I just got this recommendation. So this is for Hawaii, which I've never been to. I've never heard of Hawaii. But the cool thing is they send you an article so you can go and look at it yourself, and it gives you all these details like where it is, the price, an actual real person review, pictures, things like that. So amazing, amazing! If you're coming to the city, if you live in the city, get this because it saves you so much time. Doria Street is known for having a really cool speakeasy right here called Apothic and a really great tea shop on this side called Nam Wa. But this wasn't always how this street was. In the early 1900s, Chinatown was known for gambling and smuggling, and some of the most notorious crime happened here between Bell and Mott Street on Doria Street. This became known as Murder Alley or the Bloody Angle. And that's because of the sharp 90-degree curve right here. The two fighting rival gangs would stand on either side and hack their victims with a hatchet. It was one of the most violent streets in American history. So all of that happened over 100 years ago, and this area has really turned around since. Like I said earlier, it does have an amazing tea parlor. If you're interested in trying some authentic Chinese tea, this is a great spot to come. They also have really good dumplings, but I do warn you, if you want to come here before noon because the lines will go out the door if you come any later. Walking through Brooklyn Heights and strolling along the gorgeous cobblestone streets is a wonderful way to spend an afternoon, but while you're here, take a look at 58 Duralman Street. It's right here, and to the untrained eye, you would think this is just another brownstone, but it's actually a secret subway ventilator and emergency exit when they expanded the Bowling Green 4-train line. It's this one right here, and the way you can actually tell is if you cross the street, you can see that these windows are actually completely blacked out over here, and then also the entrance is definitely a little bit different than most brownstones. The Brooklyn Heights home was used as a private residence in 1847, but was later converted into a ventilation building and emergency exit during the extension of the subway from Bowling Green in Manhattan to Borough Hall in Brooklyn, which opened in 1908. Now, I'm not gonna do this. I don't recommend you do it yourself because there is more police presence here because of urban explorers wanting to get in and see what's really inside, but it's a cool place to stop by while you're exploring the Brooklyn Heights area. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, remember to subscribe, follow me on Instagram at SarahFunky, and watch my other NYC videos. I have tons of them right here, including this one on secret spots in NYC. Even more of them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.